The next very important GUI component is table, JTable. Okay, you must understand the differences between the container and component. Okay, now whatever till now we learned, that is JSQL pen, it's a container. Okay, it's a component. Now we are going to learn. Okay, fine. So nobody have any doubts with respect to JSQL pen. Okay. Now, one more very important GUI component in Java Swings is table. So table you all know. We are going to display information in terms of rows and columns. Is it right? So JTable is nothing but it's a component that displays data in with respect to our rows and the columns. Okay. So as we know that we have JTable itself a class, itself a JTable itself a package that may consist of numerous classes and interfaces it can be associated with it. And whatever the thing, if I want to create a component called JTable into my application, then I want to import the package. That package is nothing but javax.swing.table. Okay, so initially, if you want to create a JSQL pen, what you have to import? That is javax.swing.jsql pen. Is it right? Like that. Suppose if I want to add a component like a JTable into my GUI, then you have to import all the import the very important package, that is java x.swing.table. Okay. So we may know that a table may consist of numerous rows and display, and we all know that our maximum window side, of course, if we have created 500 and 500, so we cannot give all the information within that maximum size. Is it right? Then we should have some scrolling capability into this JTable that is needed. So that's why we previously studied about the JScroll pan. Okay, by default, JTable don't have any scrolling capability by its own. Okay, that's why we want to wrap JTable, that is a component, inside the JScroll pan in order to provide the scrolling capability. Okay, so the JTable looks like this. You will have a frame, okay, name to that frame. It consists of columns and rows. The columns will have labels like this. Okay, okay. Next thing, so normally as we know that each and every classes will have numerous way we can call the constructors. Okay, so like for this JTable, there are three way we can call the constructors. One is without any parameters. It simply create a table, okay, with empty cells. No data will be provided and no rows or something like that. Okay, or you can create a component called JTable with this number of rows and this number of columns. Okay, so the size of the table is r into rows into column. Okay, or we can create a JTable, okay, with the data and name of a column. You got it? With data and name of the column in initial way itself. I'll have to see. Okay, so the D represents whatever the data present within the table. Okay, in this, see, these things are D. These things are D. Okay, you can create a table with data as well as the column name. These are C's. Okay, column. These are the column names we have given it to the table. Okay, so three way we can call the constructors to this JTable in Java. One is without any parameters. Pakkachana Reddy, you have any doubts? You are typing something. Sharan Reddy, if you have any doubts, you can ask here. Yes, you have typed something. I didn't understand. What is that? Okay, so fine. So one first way is it's just called simply without any parameter. Or if you want to fix the size of your table, you call like this, row and column. Or if you want to add data and the column name inside to particular component called GTable, then you have to call the constructor like this. Okay. So normally JTable relies on three models. One is table model and table column model and selection model. You have all already learned this using JList. Okay, okay. No need of explanation for this. The table model this defines those things related to displaying data in a two-dimensional format. Okay, so 2D format, how our data should be displayed, that thing can be defined using table model. The second thing is, if I want to specify the characteristics into a column, then I'm going to use this particular model called table column model. Okay. So normally, whenever I'm doing any table operation, now two types of event I'm going to call. One is list selection event, means something present in your data. I want to select those data in a table. Then I'm going to call this event. Okay. Suppose I want to add some information into my table or some modification I have to do with my table. Then I'm going to call this event. Okay. So normally, two most fundamental operation we can do with a table. One is just selecting the present already existing data, and the second thing is, if suppose I want to modify something on my table name, so I'm going to call this table model event. Okay, so you need to remember. So three models it relies on. One is table model. Okay, how your data should be displayed in a 2D format. The second thing is column model. Specify the characteristics. J list you have studied. No, this is list selection model. Okay, and two fundamental operations we can do with our table is selecting the existing data using this list selection event, or you can modify the existing data, or you can add new data using this table model event. Okay, okay. So how to create this component into your application? So in order to create a component JTable into your application, four things are very important. The first thing is you create a object for this JTable class. Okay. First thing what you have to do is create an object for JTable class, that is instances of this JTable. Then provide the scrolling capability to this particular table, because we don't know that exactly what is the table. If numerous columns or numerous rows I want to enter into my table, means it should have scrolling capability. Is it right? And we know that JTable by default it won't come with any scrolling capability. So that's what, once you create an instances of this table, you have to add the instances of this table into the instances of this JScroll pane, JScroll panel, or JScroll panel. Okay. So once you done that, you had similar to our scroll pen, is it right? You add the scroll pen into the either J panel or J frame. Okay. You had either into these two containers. Okay. It may be J panel container, or okay. Then okay, then you have to add the scroll pen to the content. Okay, once you add the table into the scroll pen, you have to add this scroll pen into this either J panel or J. Okay, four steps are very important in order to add this particular component into your GUI. First thing is create an instances for this particular class JTable. Then create instances for this scroll pen. Okay, then add this instances into this scroll pen. Okay, then add the this instances of propane into JPanel. That is what you have to do. Okay, that's all. So let us have some example. We'll understand in practical now. Okay, I'm going to share in my screen. So okay, is it Eclipse is visible to you guys? Can somebody type there either yes or no? Okay, fine, fine, fine. Thank you. So now what we learn is table example. Okay. Table example. Okay. Table example. So no problem in this, I think. So what is the important package we need to import in order to create a JTable component? This is the package. Okay. So we know that JTable by default it won't come with any scrolling capability. It means that you need to even add the JScroll pan. Is it right? So it means you have to import even this package also into your application. So frame and panel, if you want to use as a container, then of course you have to import from this packages. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to create an instances for a frame. So you all know that. Second thing is I'm going to call the instances for this table. Okay. So what is the title of my frame? That is JTable sample. Okay. Now we know that we can call JTable instances using three way. The constructor I can call using three way. One is without any data and column name. Second thing is the size. Okay. So what we do is, okay, first I'm going to call without any name. Okay, without any parameters inside this table. Okay, let us done this. Okay, the thing first we'll understand. First step is you have to create a instances for JTable. Okay, you have to create instances of this JTable. Okay, the second thing is you can fix the size here. Okay, no problem. Okay, the second thing is you have to create instances of this JScroll pen. Okay, once you create both the instances, then you add this JT into this instances of JScroll pen. Because this is an instances of JTable, you have to add this JT into the instances of JScroll pen. Okay, three steps over. The fourth remaining step is add this JScroll pen instances into the frame, J frame. Okay, into what? J. The four things you need to remember. Only these four informations: create an instances for JTable, create an instances for scroll pen, and add this instances into this scroll pen. Okay. Once you've done that, add this scroll pen instances into the frame. Okay, into the frame instances. So fourth thing is very important. My default window size is 500, 200. Okay. The table what we have created is of size means the area where my table should be present is in this coordinates. That is x1 y1 coordinate is at 30 and 40. X2 y2 means maximum x value is 200, minimum x value is 300, 30. Maximum y value is 40. Sorry, minimum y value is 40. It's similar to like this. In a column, it starts with 30, 40 up to 200, 300. Okay. Let us run this. I told that I have created a table, but I have not passed any parameter. That's why, okay, I have created a table. I have not passed any parameters. So that's why the table is created, but the no information with respect to the tables. Okay. The second way we can call the constructor is size. Okay. For example, 3 comma 4. Okay. 3 comma 4. Let us run this. See, I have created a table. Okay, I have not given any name to my column or any information in my rows. Is it right? But I have created how many rows? 3 rows. And how many columns? So this is rows. How many columns? 4 columns. See, so I have rows and 4 columns. Okay. Or you can do it like this. You can pass the data directly inside in your table and the name of the column directly inside in your table. Okay, so what are the data I have? So how many rows of data I have? 3 rows of data I have. All the data I can easily see here. Okay, so what are the name of the column? The first name is name, the second column name is age, and the third column name is house address. Okay, So let us run this. Okay. See the previous three way we can call this constructor into this JTable component. Is it right? The first one is without any parameter. Second one is rows and column, and the third one is directly data and columns. Okay. See, all the data is present in this rows. Okay, and all the name of this column present in this column. Okay. So the first name of the column is name. Okay, and the second thing is age, and the third one is house address. The first row values are present like this: Sam 29 Twinkle House. Okay, the second column information present like this. Okay, so you got it. So see, have added a scroll pan since whenever it needed. Okay, whenever it needed. Let us when it will be useful. Okay, we will see this scroll pan. What I do is simply I'll create some 25 into 25. Okay. So let us run. See, I told no. Now the scroll capability to my table is added. See, because I've added this component inside the scroll pan. That's why the scroll capability is added. See, got it? Fine. Okay. So let us have one more example. So now I'm adding one more capability, that is some action with respect to my table. Okay, some event I want to take in care. Okay, using some action listener, I'm going to set an action with respect to my table. So whatever the information present in my table, that information I'm going to print. Okay. So what is my action listener? I just want to print whatever the information present in my table. So this is the function we can use in order to print. Okay. So once if I click some button, okay, when I click that button, automatically this action listener is added with respect to this button. Is it right? When I click on that, what action listener is going to take, whatever the information present in this table, that information is going to be printed. Okay, that's what we are going to do in this application. So very simple. How to create a table? Very simple. If you want to need a data to be added into your table, create all the data inside an array. Okay, inside an array. Got it? So there are numerous rows here, almost 4, 8, 12, 16, 16 or 17 rows are there. Okay. And the column name we have given here, three columns. One is name, age, and occupation. Okay. My frame name is printing table. Okay. So I'm directly going to add the data into my table. So first thing is you have to create an instances for what? For what? A J table. You're all aware what is this final means. Okay, no need of explanation. Okay, it is not at all important, but we have just used. Okay, so J table. Okay, fine. So first you create an instances to this J table, then add the data and column name into table. Second thing is again create instances of this crawl pan. Okay, once you created the instances, add this component into this crawl pan. Okay, once you've done that, add this crawl, okay, pan into the frame. Okay, so but one more action we are going to do here, that is see, we had the scroll pan into the frame. Okay, so one more action, we are going to create one more button. Okay, if I click on that button, some whatever the data present in this table, okay, that is going to be print. Okay, so in order to do that, suppose if I click anything on that button, means some action listener has to be called. Okay, so we are going to override this. Okay, so what action we are going to perform? That is, we are going to perform the printing action. Is it right? So where the data comes to, whatever the data present in this object. Okay, so once I click on that, it is the action listener is going to be added into this button. Okay, so let us run this. So this is my data. I have scrolling capability. You can easily see. Is it right? I have three. Is it okay? I think I can extend this. It will be more visible now. Okay. See, I want to show some scrolling also. See my output. Okay. Have three important columns. Okay. I have even scrolling capability. Okay. If I click on that, it should be print on some printers. Okay. See, the action listener is called, and the action performed is to be printing the data in this table. Okay, I'm going to print. Okay, what I do is I will see some PDF. Okay, see, I'm going to give it as some desktop, some yes. See, the data is printed now. You can see. Is that right? The same data. Very simple, no? To print any information on this data. Okay, only thing is one function you are calling. That is just print function. Fine. Uh, that's all today. Okay. So any uh, any doubt in this